Oh, it's me, Reedy, beat the first man. So, is it? Could it be? Is it possibly coming home? The ultimate final, fish and chips versus pizza. What more could you ask for on Sunday? Anyway, on today's show, Dad v Lad, the Euros, 2 segments, semi-finals and final, as we discuss how we think it'll pan out. Stoke and Gabriel and Torbay Police, big update for that, one to look forward to, and an absolutely superb version of the name game. Oh, and as always, there is absolutely tons more. So what are we waiting for? Roll the titles. So episode 47 then, people, and if you are a regular viewer, as always, thank you so much for sticking with us up until now. If you're new to the show, where the hell have you been? You've missed 46 episodes of this. So if you are new to the show, why not click the little subscribe down below, because that's good. Don't forget to ring the little bell, the notifications bell, because that ensures you'll never miss another episode. We have a couple of rules for this show. One is we do like the thumbs up for the likes, so if you enjoy what you see, please click the like. Please comment below. I'll reply to every single comment that goes on there, so please click on that below and leave your comments. That would be good. Completely lost my train of thought then. One other thing, if you're new to the show, I don't edit anything. Anything I say on here goes in, nothing gets taken out. So you'll get mistakes, you'll get cock-ups. It's part of the joy. One big thing that I need to put back out there. So let's remember, I am a Scotsman, a Scotland fan, and Cian in Dad v Lad wore the Scotland shirt because England failed to beat Scotland in the Euros. And my forfeit at the time was if England won the Euros, I would present the next show after the final in an England shirt. Cian is very nicely getting an England shirt prepared for me, ready for next week's show. Will I be wearing it? Who knows? We shall see. It would be a first. At 49 years of old, I've never ever put on an England shirt. I might have to do it for next week, but I will go through with it if I do it. I won't bottle out. But anyway, so helmet on, he says. Flick the old, there we go, look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? So, Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police update, as always. Nearly fell off my head then as I was trying to press the button. As we head towards the new season. So, we've got some big news for our newly merged team. And this is massive news. They have been accepted into this year's FA Vars competition. So, let us picture this for a second. It's May 2022. The restrictions have gone on COVID. Coach full of us, all dressed as coppers, going to cheer on SGTP at Wembley. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I beat the first man day out watching Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police at Wembley. So boys, anyone that signs for Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police this season, all you officials, all you committee, make it happen. We want a day out at Wembley. We're the famous Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police, and we're going to Wembley. Wembley, Wembley. See, it's already got a ring to it. Anyway, helmet off. That's police duty finished for another week. What do you mean police duty's never finished and they're never off duty? Cheap police gag. I won't go in there. Not much. So how old? After last week we had an Englishman, didn't we, last week? And you know, much to your surprise, much to the annoyance of some people who claimed that Ray Parlour was not 15 in that photo. He was. This week we're going full on international and we've gone to Argentina for a game of how old. Yes, I'm taking you to South America for a game of how old. So it's quite simple. If you are new to the show, I show you a photo of a former footballer. All you have to do is guess how old he was when the photo was taken. Dead easy. This week's player was a goal-scoring machine nicknamed Raton, or Mouse, because of his short height. Very heightist. After 123 appearances in his homeland for San Lorenzo, where he scored 47 goals, he decided to make the switch to Europe and he signed for Atletico Madrid making 159 appearances, scoring, and I repeat, another 45 goals, and this at a time when Spanish defenders took no prisoners. Quite an achievement. He ended his career in Mexico with another couple of clubs. He also pulled on the famous sky blue and white shirt of Argentina on 25 occasions, where he scored 11 times, including once in the 1974 World Cup against Haiti. All very impressive, I hear you say. Oh, very impressive. But of course, what's needed here is an old school photo. So when this picture of Ruben Ayala was taken, how old was he? Age to be revealed later on in the show when Ted will be along to help me guess. So Premier League managers, it's a knockout. We have reached the final. Now, it's the big one. Let's face it, nobody gives a shit about England and Italy on Sunday. That is a minor competition compared to this. The Premier League managers, it's a knockout final. As you know, it's between Brendan Rodgers and Marcelo Bielsa, one-on-one. They've got through rounds such as baking a cake, the penalty shootout, 3 rounds of boxing to get to here, and it comes down to one category that we have left. The only category that is left is, drum roll please, that's the best I could do, I don't have a drum. It's a 100 metre running race. Yes, a 100 metre school sports day style running race. So, the smart money is surely on Rodgers, the younger man, surely the favourite. But what we do know about Rodgers, he retired from playing football because he had a bad knee injury. So is that knee going to affect his... Can he do the 100 metres? Will he get there? Will he do what he does with his clubs? Or will he run 80 metres, be out in front and just collapse at the end? Who knows? Marcelo, well, we all know what he's going to do. He's going to look at all the methods to win a 100 metre race. Does he start fast? Does he start slow? One thing we do know about Marcelo, very, very strong quads. He's always squatting down during games on his haunches, so he must have some quads of steel, because I'm not being funny, if I squat down to tie my shoelaces, I'm out of breath. So that man has got some serious quads. It's a very close call, I've got to say. I think Rodgers probably just sneaks it for me, but there's nothing in it. So, this is how it's going to work. The polls will go up as always. You just vote, you cast your vote. That will contribute 1 point. So the winner of the polls will get 1 point. 5 people on Twitter will be contacted randomly via a DM. And I will ask you, quite simply, for your winner, Rodgers or Bielsa. Whoever wins the Twitter message vote, 1 point. On Facebook, 5 people will randomly get a message asking who wins a 100 metre running race between Brendan Rodgers and Marcelo Bielsa. The winner of the poll gets 1 point. 3 points up for grabs. Whoever gets the most points wins Premier League managers. It's a knockout. Very, very simple. This time next week we will reveal the winner, the champion, the number one. But for now, remix. Yes, so we'll find that out next week. So tune in for that. So, Dad v Lad, the Euros Part 1. So last week in Dad v Lad, Euros, you heard how I was rampant. And after the last 16, I was leading 16-7 going into the quarterfinals. So this week, we split Dad v Lad, the Euros in 2. So we've got the predictions for the semi-finals, and then later on in the show you'll have the prediction for the final. So this section of Dad v Lad, the Euros, is the prediction for the semi-finals. So when you watch this, you'll know the outcome. So here's Dad v Lad, Euros, the semi-final edition. So Dad v Lad, the Euros, we're going to review the quarterfinals and how we got on, and then we will be predicting the semi-finals. This is part 1 of Dad v Lad, the Euros. What treat you've got this week, as we will be previewing the final as well. So we're doing this one on Monday night before the semis, and then we're going to be doing one on Thursday night after the semis. So you all right, Kian?
I'm all right, yeah.
Nervous?
Very.
See, this is why it's good being a Scotland fan. You don't have to worry about shit like semi-finals. Well, I hated it when we got to the Nations League playoffs. I was pooing my pants. So we'll review the quarterfinals then, first of all. So the score before the quarterfinals was 16-7 to me. So we'll start off with the Spain-Switzerland game. So I went for a 2-1 win for Spain. You went for a 2-2 draw and Switzerland going through. So you do actually get a point for the draw.
Yeah.
But you don't get anything for Switzerland going through.
Because I didn't.
I get a point for Spain going through because you'd predicted the draw.
Yeah.
So we get 1-1 from that one.
Fair enough. Well, Vargas needs to work on his penalties, obviously.
Well, to be fair, if Spain had taken any of their chances,
yeah.
So Italy, Belgium. So we sat and watched that on Friday night. I went for Italy 1-0. You went for a 1-1 draw and Belgium on penalties. As we know, it was Italy 2-1. So it's a point to me and nothing for you, unfortunately. So that's, didn't work out so well for you, that one.
I was
hoping that Belgium would go through.
Yeah, you see, that's kind of happened today as well. You'll see this in a
minute. Denmark, Czech Republic. So you went for the Czech Republic winning 2-1. I went for a 1-1 draw and Denmark going through. Obviously Denmark won 2-1, so I get no points because I went for a draw. You get no points because you went for a Czech Republic win. And finally, England v Ukraine. You went for a 1-0 win to England. I went for a 3-0 win to England. I was obviously much more confident than you. So it's a point each. So I've actually added it up wrong because you don't get 2 points for Spain. Oh, no, you do get 2 points. No, you don't. You get 1. Idiot. So the score at the end of the quarterfinals is Dad 19, Lad 9. You're 10 points behind with only 3.
I can't come back now, can I?
I don't think you can make a comeback. I might have to throw in a bonus score in the final if you predict the first goal score or something. So let's look at the semi-finals then. So there's 2 semi-finals, obviously. We'll start with the first one tomorrow night, Italy v Spain. It's definitely one to look forward to. I think it's going to be a right attacking match. The Spanish have been great going forward, but have been struggling to stick the ball in the net. The Italians have just been great. So how do you see it going?
It's kind of like last week. Well, I don't actually back my own prediction, but I've kind of just gone with my heart because this is who I want if we get to the final. So I've gone 1-1 and went for a Spain win.
So 1-1 and Spain to go through.
Yeah.
So I can't see Italy not winning. They're so good. I mean, they blew Belgium away in that first half. I know it was only 2-1 at half time. That was only because Lado decided to absolutely bundle Matey Boy over in the area for no reason. Sure. They were 2-0 up. They'd had a goal disallowed as well. And they were absolutely cruising and they just looked so comfortable. And I don't know, I don't see many weaknesses. You go through their team from back to front, they just look really strong. And I think they're going to have way too much for Spain. I think Spain
probably will.
Spain won't get the number of chances they've had in other games because Italy just don't give up too many chances. And I just don't think they can afford. They've got to be taking their chances against Italy because they're not going to get that many.
Yeah.
I just think the Italians, they have really got something going at the moment. And I think they'll win easy. I think they'll win 2-0.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really comfortable. 2-0 by half time and then just see the game out. There'll be loads of rolling around on the floor, but that's, they'll just manage the game and see it out. Yeah. Although I have to say, and you will back me up on this because you sat watching it with me, Donnarumma got a load of stick for going down, holding his hand and being injured. You watched that replay and the ball clearly caught him on the end of his finger.
Yeah.
Now, we both know that when you get the ball caught in your fingers, it bloody hurts an awful lot.
Sure.
So I had a bit of sympathy for him there. But the one with Lado in the box when he was injured and then ran off to celebrate the goal was just, frankly,
immobile.
If it wasn't so bad, it was hilariously funny. So I'm saying Italy in the final, you're saying Spain. So let's get on to the one that you're looking forward to and certainly all
I'm
of
not sure looking forward to is the right. I'm kind of just going to bear it and hope, to be honest.
Certainly all of England is looking forward to. So I'll go. So we'll do what we normally do with the England games because obviously you're emotionally invested, whereas I'm not. So I'll give you my honest assessment of how I see the game going. England are due a sticky game. They've not really had one since they played the Scots. The only game that was sticky for them when they played the Scots was because the Scots got right in their faces from minute one right till the end. From when Dykes went into Shaw after about 10 seconds
They were in their
Dirty
faces for the
bastard.
entire 90 minutes. Denmark are going to do exactly the same. And I don't think England particularly like playing against that type of opponent. The teams they've done well against in this tournament, Croatia, Czech Republic, Germany, Ukraine, have all stood off them and let them play. And if you let England play, they have got the potential to murder you. If you stop England playing, I think you can have a lot of success against them, because I know they've kept 5 clean sheets. So what I'm about to say is going to sound really stupid, but I'm going to back it up shortly. We're both wearing Leeds tops, so I'm going to back it up shortly, and you'll understand why. So I still think the back 5 is the weak part of the England team. I know they've not conceded any goals. Felix Wiedwald once kept 6 clean sheets on the bounce for Leeds, and he was shit. He was the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen. So just because they kept those clean sheets doesn't really tell the full story. I think at times, even on Saturday, and Ukraine aren't a good side, Ukraine got through and got into good positions. And I think a team with a little bit better quality up front, which Denmark have got, they've got some decent players up front, and they've got some players in a bit of form. I think they could cause England some problems at the back. I do think England will score, and I think Denmark will score. I think you're both going to score. I think you go first. I'll tell you what I think it's going to be in a minute. That's where I think England might be in trouble.
I think, obviously, I do think they'll get in our faces, but I do think we've got a bit. If we can speed it up on the counter-attack, I reckon that is our win if they're coming out attacking, because they attack recklessly. They just throw numbers forward and don't keep many back. So if Rice and Phillips in the middle, who are our most important players, I'll say that
I think Calvin is the most important player you've got in your squad.
But those 2 in the middle, if they're winning the ball back and we can counter them fast, I reckon we can score. But I don't know. I've not got a normal head on for the game because I'm kind of just hoping we win. It's not actually like I couldn't give you a fair assessment, to be honest.
Okay, so go on. Give the England supporters hope. What is your prediction? Knowing that how badly you've been at the predictions since the last 16, what are you predicting England to do on Wednesday night?
After all that, I should probably predict Denmark to win. But no, I've gone for the same thing I've gone for in every single knockout game because it's worked so far. Yeah. I've gone for the 1-0 England again.
So you've gone for 1-0. Right. So I think it's going to go to extra time. I think it's going to be 1-1 after 90 minutes. I also don't think anyone will score in extra time, and I think it'll go to penalties. I think it'll go to penalties. And you've just got to pick one when it's penalties. And I just think there's something about the Denmark story. I just think Denmark are going to win. I can just see it coming. They're going to win on penalties.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Casper Schmeichel in goal. He was the one who went to Thingy's aid to Eriksen's wife. So I don't know. It's just, you can see it all now. You really can. And I just got this funny feeling they're going to sneak it on penalties.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I hope not.
But what you have got for your hope, although I've been quite good at predicting in the last 16 in the quarterfinals, your hope remains in Guess V knowledge. I was shit. So if I've gone back to my Guess V knowledge form, you'll be fine. You'll win comfortably.
And I'm not sure, have you successfully predicted a bonus point yet?
Yes, because I called England to beat Germany 2-0. So I've actually called an England result spot on. In the last round, I said you'd win 3-0 and you won 4-0. So I was only 1 goal out. Bloody Jordan Henderson decided to head one in and spoil my bet.
And now all the Liverpool ones want him in the team. I'm not sure what they're watching. We don't want him.
So last but not least, so you're Gareth Southgate. You've got the biggest game probably in his managerial history, to be fair. I know he had the World Cup semi-final, but that's gone. So this is his new biggest game in his history. What team are you picking?
I'd probably go back to the same as Germany.
Yeah.
Because I think that the 5 at the back worked quite well. I know that I don't think Denmark will play 5 at the back, but I think Walker's pace worked really well alongside Maguire, obviously, who isn't as fast, but he's good at defending. And I would go with your 5 at the back to keep it comfortable, and then have your attackers. I would, I don't know. I think Saka's still injured, eh? So I'd have to change something.
I don't know whether he's...
I'd have to change him out, and I don't know. That winging position, that's the hardest one because we've got quite a few players there who can come in there. I think
you've got to pick one.
I'll go Foden just because he's got the haircut. I've got to let him score one. I mean, he's got a ridiculous haircut. He's got to score a goal.
I think he'll go back to the team that played Croatia in the opening day.
Yeah.
I think he'll bring Foden in for Sancho. And I think he'll go back to the exact team that started that first game against Croatia, because I think he will.
Other than Mings.
Apart from me, he'll play Maguire instead of Mings, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's the side he'll go with. I don't think there's any place for Grealish. I had a bit of an argument with someone on Facebook about Grealish. And my argument is with Grealish, as talented a footballer as he is, Southgate's system requires discipline and a need to defend first, attack second. And Jack Grealish, not a defend first, attack second type of player.
He's very good to bring on, though, I think. He's good to have off the bench.
He's a good impact sub. And I think that's where Southgate's probably got that spot on. England Villa fans definitely don't believe it, because all I see is them on Twitter whining about the fact he's not playing. But I think in reality, you can't argue with Southgate so far. He's either a very lucky manager or a very good manager, one of the two.
I was speaking about this to someone yesterday. I think if we had a top, like one of your world-class managers in there, so let's say we had, I don't know, Wenger, for example, I don't think he'd have made the decision like Southgate has and not played him.
No,
I think he would have just, and the same with Phillips in the middle. I don't think a world-class top manager would have taken that chance on Phillips and Rice. I think he would have played Henderson. So as much as he gets a lot of stick,
the only way you get Grealish in that team, for me, the only way you get him in that team is if you decide to play a one off of a number 9 who he can basically do whatever he wants and he doesn't have to defend. For me, that's the only way he gets in the team. I don't see how he gets in the team otherwise, personally.
Yeah.
But there'll be Villa fans who disagree. Please put in the comments below what you think of my decision. Jack Grealish in the starting 11 for England. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care whether he starts or not, to be fair. I'm not asked.
No.
So we'll see how that goes. So later on in the show, we will be back for Dad v Lad the Euros part 2, where we review the semi-finals, and Kean will either be sitting there cock a hoop, or he really won't want to be on it and he'll be talking as quickly as possible to get off the show. Or you never know, you might be sitting there singing "It's Coming Home" and really,
with an England shirt on.
And I could be one game away from having to wear an England shirt to present the podcast. So
if we do lose, I'll have to go full on Southgate Pizza Hut, get the bag on my head.
Yeah, well, you go for it. That's what you should do. Go for the bag on that. Maybe not a carrier bag, so that's quite dangerous. Just a brown paper bag. So for now, Kean, thank you very much, mate. And it is back to the show, and we'll see you in Dad v Lad the Euros part 2.
So there we go. So more points have been had. We will reveal what the score is at the start of the final. For the final, there's a few extra points being thrown in, as you've heard, as you might not have heard there, because I can't remember whether we did it on or off camera. But there are a few extra points. I'm giving Lad a bit of a chance because I was winning so easily. Anyway, time for the most sarcastic teddy bear to be seen anywhere in the world. How are we, Ted? It's coming home. It's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. Imagine my shock, Ted. Suddenly you're all over England. What happened to the tennis? What, that loser Murray? He's out. I've always been on about the English football team right from the off. I love Beckham and Gascoigne. Ted, you do realise that the 2 players you've just named have retired, yeah? Of course I do, really, but I still love them. My mate Bex, we used to hang out together loads back in the day. So you hung out with David Beckham, Bex as you call him, all the time. Tattoo parlour together, barbers together, pub together. Now Ted, I know you have been known to bend the truth every now and then, but the pub with Beckham, you and Beckham in the pub? Bex loves a spoon's breakfast. Full on fry up and a pint of Carling, he's a happy man. Ted, I literally am speechless. You're telling me you go to Spoons for breakfast with David Beckham, where he has a microwave fry up and a pint of piss water Carling. Yep, that's our David. Right, okay. Anyway, Euro's little knob of the week, Ted. So any nominations this week? No, I've got a winner for you. Ted, no nominations again, just another outright winner. Yes, well, the moral of the story is this one, as Ronan Keating once said, you say it best when you say nothing at all. Did you go all Ronan Keating on me then? Yes. Why have you gone Sean Connery? It wasn't. It was Ronan Keating. Anyway, so who's won it, Ted? Enough of that. Well, this week it goes to a certain Danish goalkeeper by the name of Casper Schmeichel. Ah, yes, Casper. Oh, dearie me. So if you've not caught up with it, I'm sure you will have. Casper Schmeichel was interviewed before the semi-final, and they asked him about the whole rhetoric with the football coming home, and they said to him, do they feel extra pressure with the fact that, the football coming home thing was building up? To which Casper replied, and it was quite amusing. The reply was said, has football ever come home? Have you ever won the Euros before? Now, it was quite funny. But in a game where the smallest of margins can make all the difference, why would you give your opponents that little bit of extra motivation by coming out with a comment like that? It was just stupid. And don't get me wrong, it might have had no impact on the game whatsoever in terms of motivation, but when it's down to fine margins, don't do it. Just play a straight bat, say nothing, keep quiet, just give them the answers they're expecting to hear, not one that's going to be the headline maker. But, so I'm sorry, despite the fact you had a fantastic game and you made some brilliant saves, Casper Schmeichel, you are this week's Euros Little Knob of the Week. So Ted, are you back later for the how old the reveal then? Yep, I'm just off to have a chat with my man, the Yorkshire Perlo. Philip's the Yorkshire Perlo, he's magic, Good grief. He'll probably be cheering Italy by the end of the show, you do realise this, and on next week's show, if Italy win, he'll be on air singing the Italian national anthem. Anyway, what's that? What's that I can hear in the distance?
The name game.
Yes, the beautiful jingle. So the part of the show where we trawl the world looking for brilliantly named footballers around the globe. And this week, yet again, we go to South America. Brilliant for a man currently managing in Brazil at the club called Botafogo. So he had a playing career that spanned a huge number of clubs in South America, in Brazil, but he also went to Portugal and played for Porto and Benfica, and also across the borders to Spain where he was at Racing Santander. He then decided to make the move into management, and it's come with varied success, it's fair to say. He's been dismissed from 10 jobs and resigned from 3 between 2010 and 2020. Now, I'm no great mathematician, that's more than 1 a year. So, there's a problem here, isn't there? No matter what his playing career or his management career did, sadly for him, he's always going to be much more fondly remembered for his glorious, glorious name. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Angelico Fox. Now, again, recently I've shown you comedy pictures of things resembling people's surnames and made a bit of a gag out of it. You will not be surprised to know you're not getting any dodgy pictures of this man's surname, Mr. Angelico Fox. So, he actually amended his surname to Fuchs after Eurosport ran the glorious headline up there now when our man was moving to Benfica. Fucks off to Benfica. I mean, genius, absolute genius. And needless to say, I can imagine the back row was sniggering like children as they read that one. But yeah, so come back next week for another brilliantly named footballer. Although to beat Angelico Fox is going to take some serious doing. And I like the fact that we can say fuck without it being a thing. It's perfectly fine. It's a Brazilian manager's name. I'm being very mature and very sensible. Anyway, earlier in the show, you heard Dad and Lad predicting the semi-finals. So let us sit back and see how we got on with predicting the semi-finals. You know that already because you've watched it earlier. But also how we get on with predicting the final. Who calls who to win? Does anyone go for England? Does anyone go for Italy? And there are a few extra things in there, as we said earlier, to try and give Lad a chance in his comeback against Dad. And again, we're reminded about the forfeit should England win the trophy. Here's Dad v Lad, the Euros, part 2.
So, Dad v Lad, the Euros, part 2. So here we are. On my left is Kian Lad, who is bouncing for joy today after last night's
He's got
victory.
the flag out.
He's got the flag out, look. So I've gone with the lead shirt in recognition of the greatest midfielder in the Euros. I will give him that. who is currently just in the Euros completely, and ran 15 kilometres in one match, which is ridiculous.
That's mental, isn't it?
Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Let's go to the semi-finals. So we'll start with Italy-Spain. So I went for 2-0 Italy. You went for a 1-1 draw. So you got 3 points.
True, isn't it?
Yeah,
did,
for the 1-1 draw. But you did go for Spain going through, so you don't get a bonus point. So I got no points. You got 3 points. So that took it to 19-13. And then last night, you went for England to win 1-0. So you got no points. I went for a 1-1 draw. So I got 3 points. But I did go for Denmark going through. So I didn't get the bonus point. So it's as you were.
Do I get a point for the England? If I said England would win on the bonus point? Or?
No, because you didn't put down a draw. It's only if you put down a draw.
Fair enough.
So the score is 22 to Dad, 13 to Lad going into the final. But it's not dead because there's 3 points up for grab for the match. If you put in a draw, there's a bonus point. If you're not, there's no bonus point. And then we've got 3 other categories: first goal scorer, last goal scorer, and number of yellow cards. And there's 3 points for each if you get it bang on. So there's 12 points up for grabs and you're 9 points behind. So you do need all 4. So
it's not happening.
let's talk about the final first then. So England, Italy, I think everyone was raving about Italy at the start of the tournament. They've not been as good they weren't as good, in the semi-final. Spain dominated the ball really. So as an England fan, how confident are you feeling ahead of Sunday?
Not confident. I'm never confident. I wasn't confident when we played Ukraine. But I think we've got one big thing that we need to do. If we win in the midfield and slow down the counter-attacks, I reckon that's the key to winning the game. And I think Walker gives me confidence with his pace as well.
Yeah, that midfield is massively key. You've got in there Verratti, Jorginho, and it depends who he plays as the other one. I think he might play Locatelli against you guys.
Yeah.
I think he'll leave Barella out and play Locatelli. I think he'll go with Locatelli, Verratti, and Jorginho and play the 2 holding men to match up to what you're doing. And then it's a 3-on-3. And I think Rice and Phillips, not a problem. I think they'll cope. Mount has got to do a lot more in the middle of the park for me.
100%.
I think if he doesn't, then you could be in for a tough evening. But I think you've got the pace to hurt them. Sterling running from deep can definitely hurt them. We saw what Olmo did for Spain. We saw what Pedri did from Spain when they ran for deep. So they can cause them problems. But in Chiellini and Bonucci, I don't see Kane getting many touches. I'm not going to lie.
No.
I think they're just going to...
Unless he's dropping deep like he was.
Well, that's not a bad tactic. I'd be half tempted to swap him and Sterling and play Kane a little bit deeper and throw Sterling right up top. I don't think you will, but
no.
That's why I'm not an international football manager. And I'm doing shitty podcasts on YouTube. So all that aside then, so how excited are you to be in a final?
Oh, very. Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, there's literally you've never even seen us in a final, and
no,
obviously you don't want to see us in a final. But
I'm not bothered. Either way,
there's generations now that have never seen us in a final, and there's dads and then their kids who haven't seen us there ever. So yeah, it's massive. It is huge.
It is huge. And I think it is good for the country. It is good for football fans around the country. I think I will say this, I think they're the most likeable England team for a long time.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I think when you had the likes of Lampard, Ferdinand, Gerrard, they were just seen as an arrogant bunch of arseholes.
Yeah.
And this lot aren't. It's hard to dislike them because they just all come across as really quite down-to-earth lads.
I think that's weird as well.
I love Phillips. And I can't go anti-Phillips just because he's playing an England shirt, because I love it. Yeah. He's brilliant. We've watched him from the Championship when we were mid-table shite grow into what he's turned into in this tournament. It's unbelievable. And I'm actually a little bit proud of him, even though he's playing for England. He's done so well. And he's nothing to do with me. I'm not his brother or anything. It's I'm just really proud that he's done so well.
I remember when I was sat downstairs after the game, and I was thinking, I just remember that guy at Sheffield United when we played Sheffield United at home, going, "Oh, Phillips is shit. Phillips is shit."
Yeah.
I wonder what he's thinking now.
Where is that man now?
If you're watching,
you were wrong. He's not shit.
Yeah.
So let's cut to the chase then. So I'm not going to give my score, but I'll say it as I see it. I think it could go one of two ways, which is really the most obvious statement in the world, because either Italy will win or England will win. It's going to depend on, are England going to now be relieved of the pressure because the shackles of getting to a final and the monkey of getting to a final is off the back? So does the pressure come off and they just play with a freedom that they've not played with for 55 years?
Yeah.
Does being in the final and being so close to winning something bring an extra added pressure that makes players suddenly do things that they wouldn't normally do? That one we're not going to know until the day. Nobody's going to know how that's going to go to. Is Pickford going to be normal Pickford, or are you going to get
Everton Pickford yesterday
crash? When he was just, he was trying his hardest to keep Denmark in the game. To be fair, so I think Italy are just going to have a little bit too much, bit. It'll be very, very tight. There's not a lot in it. I did back Italy at the start of the tournament, so I've got to stick with them because I backed them from the start of the tournament. So I've not seen anything particularly change my mind. I will say these are the best two teams in the tournament in the final. Forget your France, your Spain, your Portugal, your Germany, anyone else. These are the best two teams in the tournament. Fact. There's no getting away from it. Italy have won every game. They had one draw in two games went to extra time. So 2 draws in 90 minutes. England have had 2 draws in 90 minutes. One of them against Scotland. Just getting that in.
I didn't think that was going in there.
It's just going to be so funny. You're going to win the tournament and you have all the joys and celebration. And then in the background, there's going to be us going, hello. Hello.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really close. I see Italy nicking it by 1 goal. I'm not saying 1-0 or 2-1. I'll let you do your bit first, and then I'll give you the score.
So I think when I was looking through it yesterday, and I was thinking, all these players are big personalities in our team, and like you've got loads of club captains, but then when they come to England, I think it all sort of goes. Like when they're all massive parts in the team. Sterling, you've got Henderson, obviously not starting, but then like they're coming in here. And they seem to just like drop the whole like confidence and everything, or like arrogance, and they're all like a team. And I think Southgate. Oh, hello, falling over it.
You're drinking already for the final?
Yeah, it started already. Yeah, I do think that under Southgate, as much as we all gave him a bit of shit after the Scotland game, I wanted him gone, but I think he's got it spot on. I do think he has, and I think that if we play to the way we can definitely hurt Italy. I think. But then we've got to be careful of them on the break.
Definitely. They're very dangerous on the break. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
And they're quick passing. Spain, I thought Spain dominated them because Spain are very, very, very good on the ball. I don't think you're as good as Spain on the ball. So I don't think you'll do what Spain... You're going to have to beat them in a different way to the way that Spain play.
Yeah.
And so far, nobody's found how to do that. And that would be my only little thing. I think if Italy dominate the ball, it could be a very long night. Who knows?
What did give me a little bit of confidence is the fact we went 1-0 down yesterday and they responded.
Yeah, they did.
Because I think that was always something I was a bit. If we get to the final without conceding, and then we're not going to know how we react when we go 1-0 down. But we've gone 1-0 down and we reacted quite well, to be honest.
Well, we know how they react. Sterling falls over in the penalty box.
Listen, if you're running that fast and someone touches your leg, you're going down. It would happen in any team.
That was the biggest load of bullshit I've ever read. It was genuinely.
Yeah, but
it was.
But
okay, let's turn it the other way. So
I do think everyone does it though.
It's 0-0 in the final on Sunday, and Immobile bursts into the box in the 90th minute.
You'd be fuming.
And he gives a penalty. What are you saying?
You'd be fuming.
Yeah, of course you would. It was a dive. It was a dive.
Yeah, but I do think I think everyone does it. I do think a lot of players there go down. It's just so wrong. 100%.
But what I don't like, and it's not just an England thing, it's a Scotland thing, it's an Ireland thing, it's a Wales thing. We're all very good in the UK for saying that foreigners dive and foreigners cheat. We all do it. We watch Luke Ayling week in, week out, to the floor with barely any contact. They do all do it. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
I think what we can't do is we can't call out the Italians and the Spaniards and the Germans and the French for doing it when we are just as good as doing it as they are.
Yeah.
And we do it just as often. So I don't have an issue with people doing it now because it's become the norm. What I have an issue with is when people call them out and then don't call it out when it's their own team that does it.
I don't know if
you
you
either
saw
got
it
to be all in or all out.
I don't know if you saw something yesterday in the game, but I was watching it completely. My head went to your little shouty man about phones.
Oh,
and it wasn't the penalty.
No, it was the free kick.
Did you see the England fan video in the free kick?
Yeah.
He's an England fan.
What are they doing? Why have they got their phones out? It's a Euros semi-final. Why have you got your phone? Film Sweet Caroline, you absolute Burks.
I was sat there and I'm thinking, the other team have a chance to score. My mind does not go, oh shit, let me get my phone out. I was shitting myself.
Yeah, let me get it. Oh, let me put it on panoramic, twats. Anyway, so what is your score for Italy v England then on Sunday?
Well, it's been kind of like a lucky omen ever since I put it in since the Czech Republic game, and I've said 1-0. So I'm just going to say 1-0 again.
So you're going England 1-0?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Italy 2-1. I think it'd be 2-1. So that's...
At least we're scoring.
So, well, yeah, in a minute, you're going to find out when you're scoring and all. So who's your first goal scorer? Who's your only goal? It's your first and your last.
It's not going to happen. Do you want to guess it?
Well, I was going to say Phillips, but it's not going to be him. Oh, you really? So you're going for
Calvin Phillips
as first scorer. And of course, because you've put 1-0, he'll be last scorer as well, which could happen.
National hero after that. Eh?
Could be. So I've gone for first goal scorer, Immobile.
Yeah.
I think he's due a goal. I think he's looking more and more dangerous. And I just think, I don't know. I just got a feeling he's going to notch, especially after the England fans ripped him about his play action in the penalty box. It's almost just inevitable that he scores in the final. Last goal scorer, I'm going for Kane. So you can see how I see the scoring going. I think the Italians are going to go 2 up and England are going to score with about 10 to go. And then they're just going to lay siege to the Italian goal. And
then they'll just sit there.
And Bonucci and Chiellini are just going to sit there and boot that ball away. And they're going to waste time and they're going to just shithouse their way to the last few minutes. But I could be completely wrong. So how many yellow cards are you going for?
I really think if we score early, there's going to be quite a few, just booting people. And especially in the midfield, you've got Rice and Phillips with all these tricky players. Now just hit them. So I've gone for 7.
Oh, Jesus. That's a big number. I mean, I thought my number was big. I've gone for 4. You've gone for 7. So you've gone 1-0 England with Phillips first goal scorer and last goal scorer, obviously, and 7 yellow cards. I've gone for 2-1 Italy with Immobile first goal scorer, Kane last goal scorer, and 4 yellow cards. So now is a good time to remind everyone of the forfeit that I very stupidly made before the Scotland game. So I said that if England won the Euros, I would present the next episode in an England shirt. So, Cian, you are 1 game away from seeing your Scottish supporting dad in an England shirt. What England shirt are you going to force him to wear for an episode?
See, it's going to hurt you even more because I've gone for the Euro 96 one that we beat you in.
Ah, brilliant. Have you got Gascoigne on the back by any chance as well, just to really
no,
go
I've
for
not,
it?
but I could get it printed if you'd like.
No, thanks. I could make a comment about... no, I won't make a comment about Gascoigne. I'll leave it there. Okay, so the deal stands. So the forfeit is if England win the trophy, I will present next week's episode in an England shirt. And ironically, on Zooming In, there is a Scottish band called Arcade State who are coming on to Zooming In, who are all Glaswegians and all big Celtic fans. And I will do Zooming In the England shirt as well. There you go. So we shall see how it goes. You're 90 minutes away from glory, 90 minutes away from failure. It could
at least we're there.
It could go either way. Yeah, you made it there. So at least you are there. So for now, Cian, good luck for Sunday.
I'm feeling a bit old.
I'm going to teach you a little phrase. So this appears in the show. So this is for our Italian friends. So I've just said good luck to you in the final. So it's only fair that I say buona fortuna e godita la finale. It's good luck in the final for the Italians. There you go. See, I was being fair.
I'm not giving them any luck. No luck for you, Italy. No, thank you.
So for now, from Kian, who is AKA Lad, from me, AKA Dad, it is back to the show.
There we go then. So it's all on Sunday. England win the trophy. This Leeds shirt will be replaced by an England shirt, and I will wear it. I will make sure I show it proudly off for the camera, and I'll wear it for the entire show. I'll even wear it for zooming in. We're doing zooming in with a band from Glasgow, so I will wear it for zooming in with a load of Scottish boys called Arcade State who are on next week. So there you go. That doesn't get any better than that for you. So I can hear the pitter-patter of tiny paws, so it must be time to reveal the age of our friend Ruben Ayala from earlier on in the show. So you ready for this one, Ted? I mean, remember the barbers that me and Bex used to go to? Oh yeah, Ted, from your day out with Bex at the barbers and the tattoo parlour and spoons for breakfast and a pint of Carlin? Yes, Reedy. Well, I can exclusively reveal we never ever saw Ruben Ayala in the barbers. I'm sure you didn't, Ted. I think I can exclusively reveal he's never visited one. I mean, that was great hair. I could have had 50% of that. Everyone would have been happy. You would have been happy. I'm not sure how happy he would have been. Fair. So, anyway, let's get to the public guesses, shall we? Are you still persisting with that public guesses nonsense that I called you out for last week? What are you saying nonsense? It's fake, really. We all know it's fake. It's made up. It's shite. Just get on with it. Rude. Ted, it's very real, and just to prove it, here we go. Pete from Chesterley Street. Oh look, it rhymes. Imagine my shock. Pure coincidence. Pete, no, he wasn't 31, mate, I'm sorry. Oh look, imagine my shock again. The first one got it wrong. Roll on the second one. Bet he gets it wrong as well. Rude again. So the second one, Paul from Donegal. He's gone for 26. Interesting guess, Paul. Interesting, don't tell me, wrong. He is wrong, Ted. Shock. Cut to the chase. I reckon he's 28. Okay, Ted, well, let's see if we're right. So when this picture of Ruben Ayala was taken, I can reveal he was 23 years old. 23. Who got that one this week? So put it in your comments if you got it right. Let's see. I don't think there'll be too many of you. That picture, was it before he was on Narco on Netflix or after? Ted, you can't say that. That's just stereotyping him because he's a South American man with long black hair and a moustache. You're just saying that because of that. Yeah? Well, he looks like all the characters from Narco. Ted, you just can't say that. No. I'd like to apologise to our South American viewers for that. He did. He looks like part of the gang. Okay, Ted, we're going to leave it there because I cannot get in trouble with my South American guests. And imagine if it was one of the narco gang that actually watched it and took offence. Good point. It's coming home. It's coming home. Okay, see you, Ted. Anyway, so there we have it. 47 episodes completed and ever closer to the big 5-0. Thank you so much for all your likes and your subscribing over the last few weeks. Thank you to those of you on Twitter who put out retweets to try and get some more bands come forward. I've got loads of musical acts have come forward in the last couple of weeks, so I'm just going to start sorting those out over the next week or so. We've got Arcade State on here next week, so I look forward to those guys coming on. So there's been loads of banter on here over the last few weeks of the Euros. Remember we had the Scotland, England, Wales thing on Zooming In. I've had a bit of banter with Kian on Dad v Lad, the Euros. But let's face it, England have done magnificent to get to the final. To all my English friends and viewers, good luck to you. Enjoy the final. You never know. It's a one-off now. It's whoever turns up on the night. So to all my English viewers, good luck. Enjoy. I hope it goes your way for your sake. To all my Italian viewers and friends, buona fortuna e godita la finale. Hey, you like that, didn't you? Hey, Google Translate. Ronan from the Census, feel free to pull me up on my pronunciation. But yeah, so basically the same again. To both Italian and England, friends and viewers, enjoy the final. Good luck to you both. And yeah, what will be, will be. If you have enjoyed the show, as I said, if it is your first time, please click subscribe down below. Please give us a thumbs up. Please ring the little bell so you never miss another episode. But for now, ding ding, next stop Saturday the 17th of July for episode 48. And as always, everybody, as Reedy says, stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next week.